Hello, so today I will be doing an instructional video on how to drive a manual transmission vehicle. So in this video today, I'll be driving a Jeep Wrangler with a 6-speed transmission. What that means is that there's going to be 6 different gears to go through when you're driving. Now, I've been driving a manual transmission since I was about 14, even before I got my license, so I know all the ins and outs of driving a transmission, starting, driving, and then parking and turning it off. So I'll be going through everything that you'll need to know. For this, you will obviously need a manual transmission vehicle and a lot of patience. So I'll meet you in the Jeep and we'll get into it. Okay, so we are now inside the Jeep and it is turned off. The gear is in neutral. We can shake it, so that means it's a neutral. So just to go over a manual transmission real quick, what that is so an automatic transmission, you have the clutch automatically engage the gears to go through the gears and cycle them. Now with the manual, you have a clutch here instead of just having this empty space. So if you could see it a little bit better, there's a pedal here for the clutch, and you push that in to activate the clutch. Now, to start the Jeep or any other vehicle that you might have, you're going to go ahead and make sure your parking brake is on, make sure your gear is in neutral, and you're going to want to push in the clutch to start it. Now once you've got the clutch pushed in, you're going to want to hold it there and then turn the key like you would a normal car to start it. And then again, making sure that the gear's in neutral, you can let the clutch out. Now this isn't going to go anywhere and you're just holding still. Now continuing on, if you're going to want to move and drive, first you're going to have to hold the brake, obviously, turn off the parking brake and have your hand on the gear. And then what you're going to do is push the clutch pedal in and hold it, and then put the gear selector in first gear. Now this is going to be different for every car you drive where first gear is. There might be a reverse past the first gear. In my case, reverse is all the way over here, so I don't have to worry about it. But first gear is always going to be over here and up, and go from there. So the main thing you want to keep track of here when you're going in first gear or whenever you're taking off is you want to control, when you take out the clutch, you're going to want to put the same amount of power in as you take out here. So you can put your foot off the brake, make sure you're on a flat surface. You are going to roll back if you're on a hill or something like that. But since we're in first gear, we're still holding in our clutch, and we could smoothly take the clutch out while adding some power, and you'll hear that power add in as you take it out. So there's the power, taking the clutch out slowly, and we are moving. And so that's your first gear. That's how you start driving. Now if you were to want to, we'll go ahead and stop here. If you were wanting to switch to a different gear, like you're driving normally down a street or something, obviously start in first gear to get started, and then as you're going, you're going to want to watch this RPM gauge. Usually you want to switch gears around 3,000 to 3,500 RPM depending on your car. You could even do it lower if you want to save, have better efficiency for fuel. But anyway, getting back to the point here, if you're wanting to change gears while driving, because obviously you can't drive in first gear the whole time, what you're going to do, and I won't demonstrate this while driving because I do have a phone out, but it's pretty simple. What you're going to do is you're going to hold the clutch in while driving. You're going to be in first gear and you're moving. Once you're moving through first gear, you can go ahead and put the clutch back in and take out that gas, and then move the clutch down to second gear or whatever gear you happen to be in, move it up. So like I said, this is a 6-speed transmission, so go through all the gears here. There's 5 and 6. And so that's going to be all the way up to whatever speed you're going to want to desire. So we'll get back to moving, back in first gear. Clutch is still in, and we'll go ahead. I'll show you a better look at the feet movement here. So as you start taking out that clutch, you're going to add some power. And we are moving. Again, this is real slight movements. And we can go ahead and turn here. And so to stop, what we're going to do is hold in the clutch and apply brake, just like any other normal car. Now you do need to hold in the clutch to brake, however, because you will stall it if you don't. And then if you want to, you could take the car out of neutral. Okay, that's pretty much your basics on driving a manual car. Again, you're going to get better as time goes on, and basically it's just going to become a breeze to you. But besides this, anything to avoid, obviously whenever you have a gear in, don't let your clutch out. Keep holding in that clutch, because if you let it out you will stall. It's going to move the vehicle forward and kind of jump and jolt you a little bit. So always make sure you're in neutral whenever you want to take the clutch out. So see how I could take it out, because if not, then it will stall it like so, and the engine's off. And so all you need to do, clutch in, you know, in neutral, and start the car. And just like that. Other than that, just be patient, don't get frustrated, and keep practicing. Thanks.